Howdy.
Hello, hello, hello.
Test.
Welcome back, everybody, to Surviving Hollywood Podcast. My name's Austin.
My name is Aaron.
And I'm Johnny Ray Diaz. And
we just had a great episode. Johnny, take it away.
Sure. We just sat down with actor and writer Shane Callahan, who actually is in the new series on Hulu, Reprisal. And
you can binge it all right now.
Dude, that show looks so cool. Stylized.
I love a good stylized show.
Ron Perlman's in it. Like that, dude.
Abigail Spencer.
What was it called?
Reprisal.
Reprisal. Hulu.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hulu. There it is.
Mental
dude.
note.
Yep. Binge it. Shane was a cool guy, man. He's super cool dude. Guy from PA.
Right.
And
Pennsylvania.
He's done
as opposed to a PA on a set.
Yes. Should I have elaborated that? I don't know.
That's right next to our home state, Ohio. You know, salt of the earth. We kind of talked to him about that. Austin was like, you must go home. You know, you're the salt of the earth. And he's like, well, when I go home, I'm the actor. But yeah.
He said he called you guys, what was it, Flatlanders
he said
or something?
In PA,
Flatlanders?
in PA, they call either Clevelanders or people from Ohio flat what is it?
Is it Flatlanders?
You'll find out.
Or, not Flatlanders, Flatlanders?
And then he went, I wonder if that's derogatory. And I was like, what? Are you insulting me?
But Ohio is flat, right?
And we have a place called the Flats, so I don't know.
I just saw it.
I never thought it was.
I just saw it on American Factory. That's all.
I never thought it was flat growing up, but you know,
But you moved here, and
my
oh my
world
God,
has changed.
I totally understood what Shane was talking about.
Okay.
But
Anyways,
what I liked is this guy has been consistently working since at least the mid-'90s, if not longer. Worked with a lot of big actors.
we talked his ear off about the Mothman Prophecies.
Well, Aaron talked his ear off about
You
the
did,
Mothman
which
Prophecies.
came off into like he worked with Richard Gere, Laura Linney. Austin and I have seen the Mothman Prophecies. Great horror movie growing up. Seen it plenty of times. So I was talking to him about that, and then I realized, I better apologize because this is something he did 15 years ago.
He's like, you're asking me these questions I don't really remember. Can we talk about what I'm doing now?
But he had great stories on all that.
Yeah, you really went in on Mothman, man. I was like, Aaron, all right, dude, we get it.
This episode got real.
No, but I liked him a lot, man. He's also done tons of guest spots on multiple TV shows. What's really cool about him specifically is that like he's such a versatile actor. Like this guy's done hillbilly stuff, like redneck, military, like
Prissy vampire stuff.
Dude, I mean, this guy's done multiple things, different accents, all kinds of fun. You can
This
tell
is
this is a guy that can do a lot of different things.
This is him on his reel. We didn't talk about this, but this is him on his reel as he takes a sip of blood from the Vampire Diaries.
You always give us a sample.
This is a sip of blood. Well, just the look. You got to look at this on YouTube.
Okay, let's see. Is he scared? Was he frightened?
He just doesn't want to take that sip of blood.
I think his acting is better.
Yeah, we'll let Shane do that one next time. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think you guys will get a lot out of this one, especially for people that just want to hear some cool stories about Hollywood, how much it's changed from way back in the day till now, and kind of proves if you stick in there, you'll keep doing some cool things, right?
That's right.
Hell yeah. Enjoy the episode.
Boom.
Near Cleveland.
Chardon, Ohio.
All right, I'm from Titusville, Pennsylvania. So
Where's that exact? Is that
okay? It's about a 2 hour. I think it's about 2-3 hour drive to Cleveland.
okay?
You go through Erie usually.
Our aunt lived in Erie.
Erie,
Yeah.
Erie's a strange town, isn't it?
It was all we knew as children, but
Yeah. So
Okay.
you guys are Flatlanders. That's what my dad used to, because you guys, people from Ohio would always come over to Pennsylvania and to go hunting.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Is that what they're called? Is that a thing or what?
I don't know. I think just because that girl over the top, it's called flat. I'll probably find out later that that's like a derogatory term.
Yeah, seriously.
Everything is nowadays.
We have like the Flats in Cleveland. I don't know if that's similar, but
Aaron had a little tear that just came out on that. Well, actually, I just watched this documentary called American Factory that's based in Ohio. And all the Chinese immigrants that were there, they're like, oh, my God, Ohio's so flat. Is that
dude, I feel like I'm being marginalized.
is that a thing? I don't know. I've never been, so I'm just asking.
The first thing I noticed when I moved to LA is the mountain range, and
some hills.
it's not a joke.
The southern part's hill. You get hills in the southern part, don't you?
Yeah,
I thought it was normal. I thought there were like kind of normal hills, but like I never realized it was flat.
But you live in Koreatown now.
No,
Okay. You came from Koreatown.
I came from Koreatown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I go back and forth from here in Atlanta, Georgia, actually, and right before that was in Wilmington, North Carolina. Have you all ever worked? I know you guys.
I've worked in Atlanta a couple times.
I've auditioned in Atlanta.
Did you do a self tape or did you go straight? Did you go?
We flew for the callback, but I do self tapes for there.
And we didn't book it, so that was a waste of a trip.
I've done that plenty of times.
Happens,
you're in and you have to buy the last second plane ticket.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, oh, all right, I'll do it.
Fine, but I don't like at that airport too much though, because you got to take like that train. You land and then you got to get on like a train to like get you down to the baggage claim area to like exit.
Yeah, it's pretty intimidating.
That airport is like, it's just such a hassle, man.
I thought it was quicker the first time I went there. I was running actually to get to, it was one of them callback audition, flying back. One of the first times I did it, I was sprinting because I thought that'd be quicker than taking the train.
Yeah, and?
That's,
no.
It's definitely naive to think that.
Yeah. What was it like working in North Carolina? I've never worked. I know they used to be like a bigger market, but not so much anymore, right?
No, it's kicking back up now. They've recuperated since probably.
Don't mind me.
Aaron's going to be on you.
You want me closer?
I think it's perfect now. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good now.
I tried to be as non-intrusive as possible. You guys shouldn't have said anything.
I tend to be like right here. That's just me though.
All right, I'll get right up in there.
Hey, I like it.
Even get it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Is that good right there?
Now Aaron's making you lean in. You know?
There it is.
Right.
There it is.
Cool. Wilmington, North Carolina is fantastic. I consider it like a second home. And I moved there after graduating from the Art Institute of Pittsburgh and to work in sound because that's what I wasn't an actor then. But
Music, right?
no, well, yeah. I learned how to record music in analog.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then
way back in the day.
Yeah, and then at the end of the it was like a 2-year school. At the end of it, they said, "Hey, there's this thing called Pro Tools coming out, but it's never gonna last because you can't touch the domains on the tape, you know." And that's where all the romanticism is in music. And but like Wilmington's great. I mean, there's a huge market there. There, Screen Gem Studios is there.
Okay.
And I think it got real popular through Dawson's Creek, of course.
Did they shoot that over there?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, no idea. You actually worked on that too, right?
Yeah, I did. I was cast on a couple times, and then the first time I think was my first TV show gig.
You were a huge fan of Dawson's Creek, like everybody, or?
I mean, sure. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. It's okay to admit it. Hey, I was a closet fan too.
Dawson was a dreamboat.
I met One
I'll
Tree.
say
He can
Still
dance.
is.
He can dance his ass off too, man. I saw a little bit of his dancing on that thing he did.
What thing?
The Dancing in the Stars.
Is he on there? I didn't know.
Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars.
Or
Dancing
on the
in the
Stars.
Stars.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Sure.
I met my wife because of One Tree Hill was shot in Wilmington.
Oh, random. Okay.
So
Is she an actress as well?
yeah, she's a filmmaker too.
Okay,
And,
cool.
Same as y'all.
Yeah.
And you thought it'd help your career if you dated her?
Absolutely.
Career move.
100%. She makes me look a lot better than I.
Nice.
When did you audition for those things in Los Angeles, or were you there?
That was all through the Finn Cannons.
Okay.
in the
Craig
Southeast.
Fincannon.
Craig and
yeah.
Lisa May and Mark.
Okay.
And
They are the Southeast.
Yeah, they got a lot. I mean, as you know, there's a lot of casting direct. Jackie Birch and Tara and Chase and.
Tara Chase.
I mean, there's a bunch more.
There's a lot, yeah.
So
when you were working down there, were you casted locally for that then? Were you
Yes.
living in North Carolina?
Yeah,
at the time?
living in Wilmington, North Carolina for
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
And but I used to work before I came to LA. I lived in LA from like 2000 to 2008ish. My first stint here, and I did everything all regional, like in North Carolina, mostly North Carolina, but and Pittsburgh a lot too.
Okay. What's it like up there?
It's great.
Is there a lot of work up there?
Yeah, there's a decent amount, and there's fun projects. And Donna Belijack, I love her. She's the casting director up in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
There's a couple of them too, but she's the one I've worked with mostly, and she's always been cool.
Yeah. so is there still like a lot? Do you ever go back there to work on stuff? Or
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely,
Okay.
man. Yeah, it's we'll stay in touch, and I mean, you know how it is. You always hear something's going. You hear something. I'm like, why didn't
Why didn't they tell you? Hey,
yeah.
I'm from there.
And then like a month later, they'll call you on something else, and you never know really what's up.
But you don't have to live there anymore to audition.
No, I've never.
People don't.
No, and they do the region. The
you
SAG,
can.
What's it called? The regional.
Yeah, it's like a modified SAG thing, right, or something like that.
Regional hire.
Yeah, right.
If you're within 500 miles.
Right.
Actually, I think Craig Fincannon actually. I could be wrong on this, but I think he went to SAG with that to help. Back in, I don't know what time period this would be, to help get that going on.
Wow.
For some of the location projects.
Wow. Support local actors.
Yeah. I mean, it's also so you could help people out to where that were, I guess, within 500 miles. I guess that's the number they came up with.
Yeah, that seems like a real fan of the actor.
What was it that made you give up audio engineering, and like, what is it about acting that you like? Because you're a very versatile actor. I was impressed with your reel on IMDb. Not only have you been in a lot of cool stuff that like you can name those shows or productions, but like also like versatile in that you can play the Well Wishes, you can play the leading man.
This guy loved Well Wishes.
Yeah, the trailer looked dope. I was like, man, I would want to work on something like that.
That was great.
But also you're like, the redneck, or you were kind of like the uppity guy in Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. I mean, what got the original question though?
Why'd you switch? What do you like about acting? Because you do it well.
Pro Tools.
That's what ruined you.
Yeah. I would say, my parents, I was really, really introverted and shy during that time. And my parents, I wasn't really going anywhere with sound. When I went to Wilmington, I wanted to work in, and we used Nagras back then. Which you don't know. It was
Gesundheit.
Explain.
it was,
what did you call me?
If I remember correctly, I think it was 1/4-inch tape to record sound.
Okay.
Yeah, it's used that instead of, and then it became DAT machines, and then I'm sure it's, I don't know what, I think it's still DAT, whatever it is, but I don't know if it's called digital.
So that was the evolution of all these
devices,
basically.
I'm probably hacking it up a little bit, but
now I see why it didn't work out as a sound. Yeah, exactly. I get it. You couldn't even name the item you were using.
That might have been a problem.
That was a problem there.
Yeah, probably. My parents actually talked me into taking an acting class, and made a couple great friends. I'm still friends with them, and my friends talked me into auditioning for a play, and we went to read for this 3 1-acts it was in Wilmington. And I think we're the only 3 people that showed up, though.
Perfect.
And they had 3 1-acts, and each 1-act had 3 characters in it.
Hey, so there you go.
And, you guys can pick which role you want.
Yeah. Sean Mitchell, one of the playwrights, he's from Wilmington, real cool poet and playwright. He's the one that told me, he goes, yeah, man, you guys were the only ones that showed up, so you said yes.
Yeah.
So, but doing that, just the whole audience response from theater, I was like, oh.
What a high.
But your parents talked you into an acting class.
Yeah.
Oftentimes you hear the opposite.
No, they were completely for it. My dad didn't think I had any hope.
Discernible skills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's our last shot, kid.
Yeah. I think it was just like, dude, man.
He's never going to leave otherwise. So what do your parents do? Like, what kind of industry were they in?
My mom was a nurse at a hospital.
Okay.
And she did that for a real long time. My dad worked for the PennDOT, Pennsylvania Department. He was a construction worker for his whole life.
Okay.
Salt of the earth.
Yeah.
Sounds like a blue collar town.
Yeah. I mean, West, you guys know. I mean, Cleveland. I mean, I'm sure where y'all are from, Ohio and
the suburbs of Cleveland. So not in the city, but like more in the country.
But they're all kind of similar.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sort of grunty.
For sure. Run down, but they got a lot of heart.
Yeah. Just old brick steel mill buildings and stuff like that with soot from like 1884 on the sides and stuff.
And those are the roles you play now, it seems. Those salt of the earth kind of.
Man, sure. Yeah. I mean, that seems to be what it is. Like real, like those types of people. But I mean, honestly, I mean, I'm sure you guys are the same way. You get an audition. It's like you can think like, oh, I want to do this, and that. And I'm going to do this for a little bit. You get an audition, you're like, this looks pretty cool. I want to do this. And you do your best with that. And if it so happens to be a salt of the earth fella, then so be it.
Definitely.
Do you like playing that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Do you feel like a connection to it, I guess, in a sense? Like,
yeah.
you understand it.
weirdly enough, probably growing up, I was the opposite. I was the weirdo, the opposite of like Salt of the Earth. Maybe okay. I don't know.
The shy artist.
Yeah. In a Salt of the Earthy kind of place, but so maybe it makes me feel connected to that in some sort of way.
Compared to everybody out in LA, he's the salt of the earth, but he goes back home and he's like, oh, it's the actor.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Mr. Hollywood's coming back, huh?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I can definitely see that kind of happening a little bit. Yeah. What do your parents think about what you've been doing now? Are they so
obviously they love it.
Yeah.
He's proven himself.
Yeah, they're encouraged. Yeah, they love. They're very encouraging. I'm lucky.
Yeah.
And, for a while in the beginning, most they would say is like, "Hey, I got this job and thing." My dad would just go, "Does it pay you?" And be like, "Yeah, it's gonna pay." And he goes, "All right." But most of the time, you know how it is. Like a lot of times when you're starting out, it's like, like, "Oh, I'm not gonna get paid," but
Yeah.
Right. I know. You had to do everything for free. And
Well, our parents used to say, because they knew this was important to us, is it SAG? Because, you start off and you're not SAG, and you do the non-union, and then you get the big one.
yeah. Well, North Carolina's a right-to-work state, so you can do SAG projects for a while there and not have to join. But
interesting.
But since Pennsylvania, you have in a union state, the second one I think you do. So I joined pretty early.
So was Mothman Prophecies your first big break, or?
Yeah, that was my first big movie, and it was so daggone cool. I mean, I got
tell us about it from the audition to the.
Yeah, how'd you book that?
Well, that was through Donna Belijack, and I did did the pre. I don't remember when it was, 2000 maybe.
It was right after 9/11. It said on IMDb.
Well, the movie.
Not to bring that up.
No.
Never forget.
What a downer, man.
I think the movie shot in 1999 though.
Oh.
Did they shoot that in Los Angeles or what was
Pittsburgh.
That? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And did the God, I don't remember. Did they? Yeah, they taped stuff back then.
Yeah.
And did the pre-read, and then got a call back, and that Mark Pellington, the director, who's a really cool guy, man. He did he's done so much.
Sounds so familiar, Mark Pellington.
The thing for my biggest connection at that time was what he did. He directed the video Jeremy, the Pearl Jam video.
Okay.
Their biggest hit.
Do you remember the video?
I don't remember the video, but I know the song.
Man, check it out. It's awesome. I mean, for me as a kid seeing that, I was just like,
I want to be a music engineer.
I want to bust cables to different channels that I don't understand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Figure out how to record a proper snare.
But then you got to work with him.
Yeah, it was really cool. I remember he was just very, very, he's very empathetic. It was probably the most empathetic person I've ever met in an audition process. I felt like he was really there. He's probably like that for everybody, and he's like, wow, this guy really wants me to do good, I think.
He's kind of coaching you a little bit?
Yeah, well, I think just he has strong eyes, and he's one of them, he has a cool aura and energy. I think he's just you just felt comfortable.
But take it back. When you got the call, you did an audition, then callback? Is that accurate?
Yeah, I did an audition, and then I did a callback, I think a month later.
And it was kind of the part that we see on screen, especially in the extras, or you talking.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the stuff I did, a lot of the storyline I did got nixed. He told me, they did a screening out here, and he pulled me before he came in, he goes, man, and he told me the story, and he goes, but don't worry, it's not,
He's kind of giving you a warrant, a little hey, just so you know.
Yeah, it was cool, though, to get that.
But your audition and callback was you basically doing the part that...
Yeah, correct, yeah.
You're giving your testimony is what you're doing with Richard Gere.
Yeah, and I was kind of connected to, my guy was a little shroomy.
Oh, yeah.
And,
it looked something a little bit off about him a little bit.
Yeah,
off about
all the
it seemed very natural,
all
too.
the characters are kind of like that. You couldn't tell.
You know how you try to have a secret sometimes in an audition? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. This one for the audition,
What was your secret?
My secret was that I had about 8 pounds of marijuana up in the closet. And since they were I thought they were there to actually just find me.
Yeah.
So
that's a good one.
But anyway,
that is good.
You do the callback. Your agent at the time? You have an agent?
Yes, at this time. Who would have been at that? Well, you know what? At this time, who would have? JTA would have been at that time. I'm not with them anymore, but
All good things must come to an end.
But I think that one, they were only in the South. That one was just me and Donna.
So your agent calls you and say, hey, you just booked Mothman Prophecies. Did you like jump up and down? Richard Gere, all those other
I
people?
was jazzed up, man. I was like, the thing is, it took a long time. And Donna would talk to me sometimes during that. And she said they were still waiting. They were probably waiting for names to see if
Oh, really?
I mean, that's,
They're hoping for Leo. We'll see.
And so eventually it was about a 2-month wait, actually.
And you just assumed you didn't get it after a while?
After a while. But she said it's still alive.
Right.
So, but then,
still hope.
2 months is still,
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Yeah, that's crazy.
I was very surprised as well.
So you booked it. You're thrilled. And then
you get to set.
Yeah, tell us about the on-set experience with Richard Gere and the director and all that stuff. Working with Richard Gere.
Take a deep breath.
I hear he's
Here
a
we go.
delight.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it was. Have you worked with Richard?
I haven't, dude. No, is he? I hear he's a pain in the ass.
Did you really hear
I
that?
haven't heard anything about him. I want to hear from you.
Oh,
Okay.
Aaron's kidding.
It was all.
I'm not kidding. I'm trying to.
You haven't heard that he's
I said he was a delight, and he seemed a little skeptical. So I read in, he's a pain in the ass.
Oh no, I was skeptical at all. I was trying to remember. That was me, like.
Yeah.
That was me thinking, like, oh dear God. It was.
we just watched it, so that's all on our mind.
It actually was the first time I shot was the long scene that you can see on my reel, and in the bonus DVD.
I would have assumed that scene was in the movie because it looked
good.
I don't remember every scene, and I was like, yeah, Richard Gere did that in the movie.
Well, they trimmed out a lot of. I was one of the like the movie, the basic people.
You were one of
die on the
the
bridge.
locals who were giving a testimony about the Mothman, and you just kind of seemed a little seedy.
A lot of those people a lot of those storylines got cut out. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was one of them. And
Did you show up prepared to work with Richard Gere?
Absolutely, 100%. And Laura Linney.
Laura Linney.
And it was very like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm just like, holy shit, I better
Like, this is my big break. After this, me and Richard Gere are doing a buddy movie.
I'll be in Pretty Woman too.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I did the scene, I don't think they expected it to be maybe me to do it right, I guess. I don't know. But afterwards, because afterwards we did a couple takes, and then ironically enough, they had my eye line wrong, so we had to like adjust and do takes over again to change the eye line around from the reverse. And so when there was an adjustment period, we were while they were setting up for that, talking with them, they go, you're doing a good job. This is a good scene.
That's what the director said?
No, this was Richard Gere and Laura Linney.
Nice.
I don't remember
cool.
which one said what, but like I remember just hanging out, and then I was like, yeah. You think, and then they're like, yeah.
Just a little validation, please.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
And actually that's actually the second. I forget if that's the second or first time, because I was in like a closet room with both of them for like 2 hours to stay warm while they were lighting the scene outside. I forget if that was before.
That's the dream.
Did you make any small talk with them while you were there? Or like,
A little bit. They were riffing back. They were going over memory lane a lot.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I met, so I kind of like just sort of like.
You kind of were
Yeah.
laughing. I remember, or don't.
I think I just sort of hung out and like
Yeah.
a kid with like with a hoodie or something like
Right.
that.
Do Richard or Laura, they ever give you like a note or something like, oh, try this, or they
No.
leave it up to the director?
No, they didn't do any of that. But they were still there for the off-camera.
Nice.
They
dialogue
stayed there and
for your lines.
Gave me everything they were doing for their
Cool.
shots and everything.
Is that uncommon, you think, for like A-listers? Do they sometimes leave and get somebody else to?
actually, from my experience, what I'm learning is actually no. I don't think it is. I don't think it. I think. From what I've noticed, everybody is usually there because they want the scene to be good.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's what you'd hope, right?
Yeah. Or if it does happen, it may be for some sort of like maybe if it's TV, they could pull somebody to go shoot, with a different unit.
Yeah. Did you feel like kind of impressed? Like, were you like, oh man, they're really good, or were super prepared?
Richard Gere and Laura Linney.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, they could have done.
Tell us about like how their acting technique or on-set presence. Did you pick up anything from them?
No. I mean, when I said
Shane was ahead of his time, man. He's like, these guys, come on.
Well, no, I can't think of what. I mean, you know, I could probably make up something that would seem like I did, but like they were just sort of just
I feel
doing
like
their thing.
at that level, you know, those guys must know how to have a good on-set presence, and they're not bringing anybody down, or they're, I don't know.
Well, I guess if I think about it now, that maybe I picked up as like they might have saw that I was nervous, and that's why they talked to me, you know, just to say like it's going good, and maybe that, and you know, no, maybe it wasn't going good, and they just said that because like Jesus.
It looked good, really. Yeah, it looked good to me. So.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because, like, you know, sometimes working in TV, I feel like working with some of the actors, like a lot of them don't know lines and stuff, and so sometimes you kind of have to play off of that a little bit.
Even the leads on TV shows sometimes.
Yeah, you know, and it's different because TV.
They're not Richard Gere. They're like,
and that was a movie.
Yeah, but with TV, you know, it's like sometimes they're shooting so much stuff like over several days. It's just like so much material. So it's kind of understandable sometimes.
Or they get like the script, like
right.
They get a new 6-page scene.
Yeah,
right? And we're gonna go shoot it. We're set up.
Oh, guys, I got half an hour. Cool. You know.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different, but I was just kind of curious if you ever if you saw any of that with them.
Yeah. What do you find? You find when you show up doing TV shows, you're like a guest starring or a couple episodes. Are these actors, the leads, the regulars, are they bringing it or?
Yeah, I think so because like if the show doesn't do good, then it falls back on them. So I think if they go into it feeling like maybe the scene needs more or something, or they feel like it's not working, I feel like they have a lot on the line to make it work.
Right.
Or else it just looks, you know, if the show fails like that, that's a bummer.
The only reason we're asking is because we're not going to name names, but Johnny recently worked on a TV show that there was some apathy. We won't get into it, though.
No, we won't talk about that. But
anyway, so Mothman Prophecies. You said you got invited to the premiere, and that's when the director pulled you aside. And is that the case?
Yeah, he told me before. Yeah, it wasn't like a red carpet premiere.
Was it in L.A. or in Pennsylvania?
L.A. Yeah, it was at. I think it was at the. Was it at Grauman's? Is that how you say it? Grauman, the TC.
I don't know. I don't know where that is.
The Hollywood
Theater.
The TCL, I think it is.
Right.
Yeah,
TLC.
the Chinese theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was somewhere near there, I think.
Nice. Heart of Hollywood.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But you were living out in LA, or you flew out for the premiere? Or?
At that time, I was living here. I had moved out.
Okay.
I drove out after that movie. After that movie, I was like, well, I'm going to go to Los Angeles now.
And what did you think of the movie the first time you saw it?
I dug it. Yeah, man. I think it's a killer movie. I'm a fan of. That's why I was like
Sorry to talk about something you did 15 years ago. Did you use that as an opportunity to reconnect with Richard Gere before we move on to something more current, or like?
I don't. We usually we get coffee all the time.
Come on. Did you say hi to him?
I didn't see him.
Oh, at the premiere he wasn't there.
No, I don't think he was there. So I don't have.
You got the screener at home.
You want some Richard Gere? I don't have no screener.
Did you feel that after coming to LA after that movie that a lot of doors opened up?
At that time, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it definitely helped. And at that time, you know, and it was interesting because everything was still auditioning in rooms at that time, and I think it was sort of. I think at that time I was still a little too nervous in rooms, you know.
Right.
And then it's one.
I still am.
Yeah, I think it's pretty normal and natural, but it's a great thing getting older. Because like I don't know what age it was, but there was a certain point where I was just like,
fuck it.
And then and not necessarily fuck it, but like you do your work and then you go in and you do it, and then like
just like kind of whatever.
There's nothing you can do besides do the work.
There's literally nothing you can do. So like I don't know, maybe it's just like finally it kicked into where I was able to like forget about everything, or at least tell myself I forgot about everything. You know, as a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
To deal with rejection and you know.
But it worked. At
it's paying off.
What point did you start writing and producing and doing your own stuff on the side?
Well, I started writing when I was in audio school because we had to take film classes, and that's where I fell in love with the filmmaking process because we had to edit because they made us take some because we had to do audio for folks who were learning how to make films and TV at the time, and it wasn't really a film school, but that's where I was like, I want to do this, and so I started writing short films and filming them on like a Bolex and
starring yourself.
No, I didn't. I wasn't interested at that time.
So you wanted to be behind the camera,
Yeah.
directing?
Yeah, correct. Yes,
Yeah.
and I did have to act in one of my shorts because one of my actors didn't show up, and so I was like,
That was your moment.
yeah, I didn't seize it. I don't think. I don't think I was that good.
Where can we see this short?
It's on a VHS tape, like in a bin.
Yeah.
That I carry around with me for some reason.
So that's interesting. So do you think that like deep down inside you kind of always wanted to be an actor, or was it something you kind of more did to break out of your shell? Or
I think for sure it was definitely therapeutic in the beginning.
Okay.
But like I thought about it for sure. Like I remember watching River's Edge.
I don't remember that.
Crazy motherfucker John. What the fuck's his name?
River's Edge.
I mean, I know the name. But
Back
I
to
can't
the
remember.
Future. I can't think.
Oh,
Doc?
Crispin Glover.
Oh, Crispin
I remember
Glover,
watching
okay.
Crispin Glover back in the day going, man, that looks like it'd be fun to do.
That dude's wild.
Heck
Yeah, I know.
he's
He's
wild.
pretty wild. But I
Yeah.
remember that's the first time I started thinking about it. And then,
Yeah.
you know, like playing baseball and skateboarding, like it's all kind of relative,
Sure.
like competitive entertainment. I mean, you know.
Absolutely.
But you're clearly a pro. Something else that I liked about your reel, just based on the clips you put together, was besides the versatility, it seemed like you have I don't know if you learned this yourself or if it just comes natural, like your on-camera presence. You always stay open to the camera, never get in your own way, always kind of know what the shot is, I guess. It seems like you're a real pro in front of the camera. Do you have to learn that? Or you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I try to hear and listen, especially if it's TV. I try to hear if they're changing lenses, and then I try my best to know how that might open up or
Right.
like and go in.
But even not like moving your head too much. It's just you're very good on camera, which a lot of people who've been on, like if you're on the stage, you don't necessarily have to do that.
Well, thanks. I mean, I honestly I feel like I've gotten worse at it over time because I've tried to. I think it was coming from the technical background. I think I thought about it more, and now I'm like trying not to think about it, you know. And I guess I don't know. You know, sometimes you think about stuff, and sometimes it just
kind of
all just
flows.
wild energy.
I guess
Yeah.
it's just me who was thinking about it.
Yeah.
No. I mean, actually, you know, the first acting class I took was Tom Myers, and he was an editor, an old school like Hollywood film flatbed editor for a long time, and he didn't necessarily teach, you know, scoring a script or like intentions and, you know, what are you doing, you know, stuff like that. He taught about like how scenes are cut and filmed, and then
Perfect.
how you need to think about that.
Telling stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that probably helped.
We met in an acting class where the guy was an editor, and he like talked about that stuff too.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it definitely. I worked as an editor one time on a show, and I used to be hung up on continuity a lot, and then after doing it, I realized it doesn't matter as much, at least in my mind.
Not to Scorsese either.
No,
He'll
no.
famously care about the acting
You
over
really,
continuity.
You know, I don't think an audience really cares if like an arm's like here, as long as it's fun to watch or
Right.
compelling.
Most people I don't think pay attention to that anyway. Only people that are like actively in the industry will like notice things like that. But otherwise, like if you're enthralled in the story, it's really all that matters.
It's all that matters. But I think in
Yeah.
the beginning, I was obsessed with making sure, like, oh, they're gonna hate me if I'm not doing this exactly at the same time. you
But
know?
now you've adapted and you're trying to be more free, or is that a good way to describe it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you try, I hope, and then or you do. I guess if you're doing that, you don't know what's really happening, and then you just like it kind of makes it scary to watch. You're like, Jesus, I hope that worked.
True.
So you've been playing obviously we kind of saw some of the stuff you've done. You definitely play
And everybody should go on IMDb, look up Shane Callahan, and watch the reel.
Well, thanks, man.
there it is, dude.
Yeah.
Aaron's really trying to sell you right now.
I appreciate
Dude,
that.
of course.
New fan.
You played obviously like a lot of different characters, a very diverse mix of things. Is there certain types of characters that you prefer playing over others?
The redneck.
Well, there's been a lot of those, but it's also like kind of like salt of the earth type of characters as well. Like some comedy stuff, like you did Veep, like, you know.
Man, Veep was a blast, and it was just that one little like
bit.
what you see is
That
that's
little
all
bit,
it
yeah.
was.
Well, I didn't see that. What
I
clip?
didn't see
Was
it.
he in the
I
scene
saw
with
it, yeah.
Julia?
No, Julia wasn't there.
No,
right?
no, it was
Tony.
Tony, is he the?
I don't think it was Tony either.
Oh, the lanky white guy.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
That narrows it down.
But he's funny.
Is it like everyone on the show is tall, lanky, and white?
But he's funny.
Okay.
All of us are going to show up in the same room to an audition. Lanky white guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's I've always had a hard time actually with that because I feel like I just, whatever the opportunity is, I literally think like, it's like, all right, I'm going to seize the hell out of this and then roll with it. And I honestly, oddly enough, when I gained weight and grew my hair out is when
You did that for a role?
No, not really. Yes, I did it for a role. That's when Outsiders, I got and then, actually, no, a little bit before. Honestly, I don't forget if it was before that, but I started getting a lot of those types of roles, and I was like, I just rolled with that for a little bit.
What? What did the
Outsiders was Hillbilly? Yeah. It was a show for WGN, which is no longer around.
Yeah.
And that was in Pittsburgh as well.
So you think it was mostly just the haircut that just kind of tossed you in that category?
Yeah, I mean, I've changed up. I don't know. I guess in auditions, maybe it holds back in auditions. I guess I do try to I'll try to like you guys all got longer. Yes, you always try to do different stuff, or are you consistent? Or when you
I
do
haven't
audition?
done anything today, as the folks at home could probably tell.
This guy does as little as possible.
Aaron just woke up right now.
I just I don't really do that much. I mean, if I have an audition, I'll just like make sure nothing's out of place. But I just kind of
Make sure your wave is right.
Yeah, I just push it back.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you do like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and just give them what I think they want. And then sometimes you're like, man, I got an idea.
Just try something different.
And then you go for it and then see what happens. But, I mean, I think it'd be fun. I mean, honestly, I think it'd be fun to shave and just, put on a tie and a suit and, do something like Succession or something like that.
Dude, you see both seasons?
Yes.
No spoilers.
So good, right?
It's fantastic.
I haven't seen the
I've
show
only
yet.
seen season 1.
Dude, so good. Johnny's missing out. Austin's
I've only
almost
seen
there.
the billboard. That's it.
Yeah.
But dude, the last episode, Succession.
It's just,
Just saying that as a spoiler.
Easy, dude.
Dude, halfway through that episode, I was like, damn, this should be nominated for some Emmy or something. And that was like the ending hadn't even happened yet. Anyways.
Yeah. It's really and for actors, I think it's a fun show too because everybody's just riffing like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not riffing. I think it's probably all.
I think it's all scripted.
Yeah, all scripted. But riffing meaning like they're
Great
just in their
chemistry.
zone.
Yeah, you're just going. So I'm curious then, because then if you're kind of like changing looks up a little bit, like how do your reps kind of like push you or market you to certain types of things?
I don't know. It probably is hard for them.
They're like, Shane, man, you had long hair last week. Now it's like a buzz cut, dude. What are we doing here?
It probably is. It probably, yeah. I mean, but honestly, I think, when you hear actors going, oh, I don't want to be stereotyped. And
like
I've always thought, man, get stereotyped.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's a good thing.
You're working.
Do it.
Yeah.
Work. So like, when I say I'd, I've been doing like the whole, well, I'm going to wear a beard and mess my hair up. So like I've really been riding that out as much as possible.
Okay, cool.
So, and I'll continue to as much as possible.
Are those the roles that you're drawn to, or what roles are you drawn to?
Anything that pays, baby.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Hey, all right then. Fair enough, man.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, I was a D&D nerd growing up, so I think it'd be fun to be in like, Fantasyland stuff like, wizards and
Harry Potter,
Witcher,
some
down and out. Actually, I didn't really. I don't know. I haven't
know
watched
Harry
those
Potter?
ones.
Okay.
I know.
You've heard of it.
Oh, you know what would be good? Lord of the Rings. They're doing a TV show.
I know. Yeah, they're doing Lord of the. I think
You've never watched Harry Potter?
I've watched 1 or 2 of them, and
Dude, the books are a lot better. Anyways,
He watched 1 or 2 and he's like, hard pass.
He's like, it's no Dungeons and Dragons. I'll tell you that.
What is?
I always thought it'd be fun to play like some sort of down and out wizard who can't quite figure things out.
That sounds
in the
fun.
middle of the woods.
the everyman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
He's only somewhat good at magic.
Yeah, somewhat good. Which is, that's where, and then you can have some fun with
Well,
it.
a troubled hero. That's.
Oh yeah, Troubled Hero.
Troubled hero.
We all resonate with that, right?
Yeah.
I love a good Jack Bauer type.
I could see
Throwback.
that a little bit.
Do you have a
see
secret auditioning like technique? Do you have any like strategies you practice?
Like an
Because you
anchor.
book a lot of stuff.
Audition tech. Yeah. Well,
Like just a strategy, I guess. Like I don't know. Know.
Well, a couple. I mean, my favorite acting teacher in the whole world, Tammy Arnold. She's from Wilmington. She's from Wilmington as well, Wilmington, North Carolina. She used to have this thing where she said, always pinch your shoulder before going. If you feel like you're getting like a little like in your head, she would just say, just pinch your shoulder, and it just reminds you that you're a human being, and so are they.
That's it?
And then, well, no, I guess in the other one, if you feel like it went good, get the fuck out of there.
Yes, all right.
Because like I've lingered before and been like, oh, cool, we're just
You said
talking
too
and
much.
stuff now, and then
See, I heard the same thing, but I heard you pinch the casting director.
pinch them on the way out.
No,
Yeah.
on the way in.
Oh, on the way in.
To let them know you're alive.
Hey guys, I'm here too. You guys are human, just so you know.
Yeah, I'd say or if you don't understand, if you get if they give you direction and it sounds like far out, you don't know where the hell it's coming from. I think just do something different, even if you don't know what the hell it is. Because I think probably they're just checking to see if you can
Take a note.
just
say,
change up.
Yeah, good idea. And then just do something else.
Well, just if you don't know what it is, and then you ask them to explain, and you still don't understand, just
Pretend like you do.
just do so. I just usually just do something completely different than what I originally did, and I think most of the time maybe they're looking just to see if you're
If you can
do the
adjust.
same thing, over again.
And then once you're on set, do you have any on-set strategies? Like, besides not necessarily the acting, but I want to make sure I don't know, talk to the director. I want to make sure, I don't even know.
Well, if it's TV, there's no time. Like I think there's a difference between like TV and film. Film,
A lunch. It's like you don't want to sit with like maybe the lesser actors. You're like, oh, it'd be cool to sit with that director.
no, I think you just kind of
I'm overthinking it.
grab the seat. I mean, if it's, I think if it's TV, you better just be ready to go.
Right.
Because like you're not going to get direction.
Yeah.
But I do think I am learning now. Like I think something I'd like to do more in the future is, if even if there's no one talking to you, just to still try different stuff. Sometimes I think like sometimes if you're doing takes, you think it's a camera move they're trying to get right, and then or something, but then you realize, well, I would have liked to have done one or two things
Different.
completely different, just in case.
Yeah.
But like you want to make sure you like give them the good take. How do you know when it's time to like change it up and do something different?
I think that's in the moment. The thing I'm trying to learn from that, at least I'm hoping, is that you're not going to know, so just do it.
Just be in the moment.
Yeah, and because I think sometimes I'll hold myself back from being like but I don't know, maybe they're working something out.
Right.
Right.
Because it feels like sometimes I feel like coming out of a show, you just feel like the new kid in school. You're like, you're at lunch. You're like, who do I sit with? I don't know. The names. Do I sit with the PAs? The background? I don't know what I do.
In my trailer.
I just want to like follow the rules and do what I'm supposed to do and not mess things up. So I feel like, you know what I mean? Like hit on my lines, have nobody yell at me.
Yeah.
I feel like the costume department's always a safe bet.
You bond with them.
Yeah.
Or makeup.
Or the
maybe.
makeup, yeah.
Makeup, they're cool. Usually cool.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to bond. I mean, I think that because they're naturally bonding.
They're nice. They're nice ladies or men.
Yeah.
Easy there, bud.
All right.
We should talk about Hulu.
Yes.
do
So
it.
you're on Reprisal. Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And tell us about your role on the show. I've seen the trailer. Has the show come out yet? I haven't seen the show yet.
Came out on December 6th.
Okay.
All 10 episodes are out.
Okay.
You can watch them all.
And binge.
You can binge them out, so you can do whatever it is you do when you binge. And
How many episodes? You
10. There's 10 episodes. I'm in 8, I think.
Nice.
Oh.
And for the folks at home, could you just
Tell
give
us about it a little bit.
the show?
The show, it's the setting is here, like in the world we know now, but it's sort of a dystopian kind of fantasy version of here. Josh Corbin's the creator. He's really, really cool. And he's pulled together different, eras and different pop cultures and put them together into this world that we all live in.
Mm-hmm.
And the show, it is a story of revenge. And Abigail Spencer plays a character named Catherine Harlow. And Catherine has a brother who is the leader of a gang called the Banished Brawlers. And
Hell yeah.
and yeah, man. It's like,
And they're very friendly, right?
oh yeah, yeah, they're good guys and gals. And in the beginning, in the first episode, you see that her brother and a couple other brawlers chain her up to the back of a truck and drag her through a field.
Are you a brawler? Or?
I'm a banished brawler. Yeah, right. I was not one of those guys though, and that did that.
Thank God.
And then they leave her there to die, or at least they thought she was dead, but she wasn't. And then years later, she comes back, reinvents herself, changes her look, changes her name, and she's going to seek revenge upon the Banished Brawlers. And and then that's kind of the catalyst of the story. But there's all these other little stories that pop up from there, and there's cool like Coen Brothers like characters that pop up and fun dialogue. And
one thing I did notice from the trailer that I thought was really cool. First, it kind of felt very like Kill Bill-ish, this sort of revenge story, and then it was super stylized, which I really liked.
And it works. It doesn't feel like you're having style shoved in your face. At least in my opinion, I feel like it's justified, and it's a fun way of filmmaking, especially for the medium of I don't know, when it's streaming. Is it still TV series? I don't know, like streaming series, whatever they call it.
You can see it on TV, or on your phone, or on your phone. But yeah.
And they do a lot of split screen editing and long shots and like a lot of green screen stuff with fun little old footage from the background when the River Phoenixes are driving around, and it's just I think a lot of shows try to talk about how they're cinematic and things like that, but I really do think they may put forth an effort
on this one. And I saw Ron Perlman's in it.
Love him,
man.
Dude, big fan of Ron Perlman.
Good actor.
Yeah,
Love
he's
Sons of
awesome.
Anarchy.
You ever seen with him?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell us about your character specifically.
Maybe
then.
season 2.
Yeah, tell us.
I like that.
Give us a little spoiler.
What about you? Your character in
It's
it.
just us, dude. No, tell us about your character.
I play a guy named Brew, and he.
Sounds like a drinker.
It's just, and it's funny. I think every scene I got a beer in one hand, and a cigarette in the other, so it's just like
there you go.
It's drinking beer, smoking cigarettes, and he's a pretty laid back brawler. I think he's a good guy. Like if you're
He's not into rape like the others.
Whoa,
Did those
dude.
guys rape Abigail? You said, or?
They just dragged her from a
there's
truck,
no-
dude.
there's no
what are you
raping.
seeing,
I read
dude?
into it.
There's no. They just chained her up and drug her from the back
Easy
end
there,
of a truck.
buddy.
All right.
Easy.
Nothing that bad.
Good.
They have to save something for future.
No, he's definitely killed people before, but he hasn't. But probably in his mind, only killed bad people. People that had it coming. But he at this point in time, the brawlers in the show, because we're like the gang of this world. We tax everybody, and we're making all kinds of money. We haven't had to fight for anything for a real long time. And so we're all just sort of just drinking and smoking and making a lot of money. And so we're very, very relaxed and feeling good about that. And then, of course, she messes things up. But I think Bruce, he's just a regular guy, man, that just happens to was looking for a job one day and then ran across some banished brawlers and was like, well, this sounds all right.
Drinking and fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good formula.
Yeah.
And he's technically, they all are bad guys, but like you said, he doesn't view himself as a bad guy.
No, and I don't think. That's.
Neither did Hitler.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Nobody thinks they're a bad
And
guy.
that's thanks for tuning in, guys. That's where we end this thing.
Or else you're two-dimensional.
Yeah.
I think he's a pretty good guy. I mean, I think he's, he's the kind of guy that you'd want to be in a jam with. And
Would you let him date your daughter? Maybe not that good a guy.
Let me think. I guess in this world,
Hey.
Brew, yeah.
Okay.
Now, being a lead on that, like, did you get a lot of rehearsal time on that particular series?
We didn't do rehearsals
At
There
all?
were no.
The director, like, talked to you about
this started going. I mean, this was definitely like it was definitely like let's get it going.
or like the showrunner, because it's probably a different director on.
Well, yeah, Josh Corbett, he's the creator and the
so
showrunner.
did
There
he-
definitely was talking before we got going, and he was really cool. I didn't, and it was kind of neat to be able to do that. It was just like, oh wow. I remember when we shot the pilot, and I just started talking about the character, not like on purpose, like to create something. I think it just kind of accidentally landed. And then like a half an hour later, I was like, oh, we're still talking about this character. It was kind of neat that someone wanted to
That is cool.
discuss that. So we were talking about tattoos and how they might approach how Brew might approach certain situations. And I hadn't experienced, that on that level before. So it was really neat to be able to go through that creative process. So yes, they were definitely I guess that's definitely like a rehearsal process. But in terms I thought you were talking about
I was just because you're a lead on this one and part of like the original cast and everything. If it was like maybe you got, I don't know, just got it more of a chance to develop your character with the people running it.
I think everybody was rolling pretty good from the start.
They were all professionals, just ready. Got the script. I know what to do.
And I think it happened pretty fast for everybody, for Josh too. I think, and Hulu even. I think it was quick. It was like, here we go. I mean, we're gonna do this, and we're shooting and filming. And
where did they shoot it, by the way?
Where?
Yeah,
Wilmington, North Carolina.
Oh wow, okay.
Which was cool because that's where I consider like
some
a
roots.
second home. Yeah,
some roots. Yeah.
So I knew most of I was buddies and friends with most of the crew. And
oh, nice. That's
so,
cool.
You were recommending restaurants to the rest of the cast.
Yeah, in the beginning, and I think they found better ones after. In the beginning.
They're like, this one doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
Now the guy from Aladdin is also in this series.
Yeah,
as
Mina
well.
Masood. Yeah.
Will Smith.
Was it like working with him? Was he cool?
Really cool, man.
Yeah.
Like he's very, very.
Wait, the guy from the new Aladdin who played
Yeah.
Aladdin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a stand-up dude, man. Like he's just a guy, you know. Like it was you know, he helped me with. I watched some video on YouTube that freaked me out about eating meat. Did you say Animal Factory? Was that one of them documentaries? Did you watch it?
Sorry, did I call it Animal Factory? It's called
you
American
vegetarian?
Factory.
No.
It's called American Factory.
I go in waves. But anyways, I saw this video that freaked me out. I'm like, I can't eat meat, and he
Yeah.
helped me because he's a vegan, and he helped me with.
Well, hey, we'll help you out. We're vegan.
These
Hey,
guys
we'll
are
help you out.
vegans.
Are you a vegan?
Yeah.
Are you a vegan too?
I wasn't going to mention it, but yeah.
Shane's
I'm
like,
not,
I gotta go. I gotta go.
No. I've gone through periods where like I've just eaten beans for like a month,
Okay.
and then that's a vegan, right?
It is, yeah. It doesn't sound too exciting.
That's
but,
when
you
work
know.
was thin. That's when work was
It was ramen, and just the non meat one. Then.
No, ramen would have been fancy. This was just beans.
Just beans.
Yeah.
It feels like you're like you're not drifting through the country. You know, you're living in a
Like
house.
I'm a pioneer.
Yeah, you're mining for gold. What are you doing?
Never forget.
No, just eating beans. I enjoy it.
Dude, our camera just shut off. What's up with that?
Well, we'll have to keep going.
Let's turn the battery. Let's just do
All
a
right.
quick battery
I'll step out
recharge.
real quick.
We can still talk.
Keep going.
Audio's still active. Our primary audience is on. I have a question. And
many
please correct me if I'm wrong. I noticed that you're newer to the Instagram game in terms of it's sparse. Not that that's a bad thing. Mine's sparse as well. But was that like a conscious decision to start getting active?
I better get online or else my kids won't know I exist.
100%.
Really?
I feel like my dad. I remember like my dad when remote controls came out. You know, and he was like, "What? You know, like what the hell is this?"
It'll never catch on.
I feel like that with the Instagramming.
Yeah.
And I remember on Outsiders, Kyle Gallner would live tweet during episodes because it was, and I was like, "Oh, you should come on and live tweet with us." And I'm like trying to, and I could see people were saying stuff, but I didn't know how to like follow the conversation.
Yeah.
So,
But like, do your
You must have been so stressed.
I was stressful. I'm like, "What the hell, man?" That's how I do it.
Yeah.
did your reps encourage you, or is that something you wanted to do? Say, hey, it's catching on. It's not going away.
Well, no, none of my reps really encouraged me to. I just knew that it was something that needed to be done because that's the way things are.
And it can be fun.
Yeah, no, I totally get it, and my wife is hip to it all, and she helps me out with. I only do one I've only done Instagram now. I do the tweeter
That's what it's called.
But I don't know how you do them both at the same time. Is like one for the other? Is like one for like casual conversation and other one's for.
That's another
I don't know.
podcast.
Yeah, I don't know.
well,
Instagram's for pictures.
Instagram's
and
visual.
stories and
Twitter's for your little joke,
for the news.
little funny
Okay.
thing.
I don't know.
Okay.
You can do them both. We're not experts.
How many shooting days was the Hulu? What's it called? Reprisal. How many? Do you know how many shooting days that was?
It was. I'm terrible with time. I think it started in the beginning of June and ended near the end of October.
Well, that was a long time. It must have been off and on.
September, about 5-6 months.
That's a really long time, right?
Yeah, seems to be. I mean, they took some breaks and stuff
Right.
like that.
Well, that's great. You guys.
So you weren't in North Carolina the whole time?
Yeah,
You were?
I was in North Carolina the whole time.
Okay.
And back and forth between there and, but most time we stayed in Wilmington, even when there was a gaps from not shooting, because we were happy to be back in Wilmington. My wife and I. It was like, we're in Wilmington, and
your wife came with you.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah, but she's a filmmaker too, and we all have filmmaker friends there. So she's making short films with people, and 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 of course she goes back to Atlanta to audition if she gets that, so it's
And
all.
do you help produce? And like, are you guys making that together, or is that her thing?
Well, on this particular trip, she was doing stuff with on her own with some folks, but we've done stuff together. When we first started going out, she wrote this script called When Nicole Meets Oliver, and really cool script and
Rom-com?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. More of a more drama than comedy,
Nice.
but there's some quirky kind of comedic kind of. She's French Canadian, and so it was.
Hey?
Come on, dude.
Hey, that was
Please,
the low-hanging
I
fruit.
hope she didn't hear that.
We'll cut it out.
And it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite things I've done, honestly. And
Is it out?
Yeah, I don't think we put it online yet, and we need to do that. It's like one of the things we do is like, oh man, we need to get that on you, and then
Or film festivals, or what was the plan?
we did film festivals. Yeah, it won some awards and stuff like that. Like, and it did well. But this was about 7 years ago too, and but we do want to get it online. And but no, we've made plenty of short. Like, it looks like you guys are constantly. You guys made one too. Papua.
Whoa.
Hey,
Austin-
Shane knows it.
Austin wrote it. We all produced it and starred in it.
Johnny directed it.
Yeah, that's the award, best comedy for Papua, right there.
Oh yeah.
Sundance.
No,
Okay.
Chandler International Film Festival.
Moondance.
But we have two in the that we're working on right now to post production.
Sweet. Do you all? One of you all edit too?
No,
We have to hire that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too much work.
Yeah.
Too much work.
Do you or your wife edit?
Yeah. She. I've been employed as an editor before.
Oh, so you're a pro.
Or
good enough.
I think they were just desperate. I did a show called for CBS. It was called The Inspectors. I did season one.
I've heard of that show.
You've heard of that?
I
definitely
had a
heard
buddy that was on that show.
Brian?
Yeah, Brian was on that.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did a guest spot on that show. It's like a Saturday morning show.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's like a Saturday morning.
But the post office, right?
Yeah, but it's
Post
like a
office
drama.
crimes. I think I've auditioned for that show like probably about 10 or 15 times.
Yeah, man.
Seriously.
It's one of them ones where like you've done it. Like Army Wise was that one for me.
Oh, was it? Okay. Yeah.
the post office,
yeah,
Post
they're
office
they're
postal
postal
crimes.
inspectors, man. But
Yeah.
the seedy world of delivering mail.
Right.
there was a lot of people mailing strange stuff.
Right.
Um,
Some of those scripts were pretty funny though. It's you're playing like the criminal and you're like, oh my god, they caught me. I was sending my things without stamps or something. You know, and it's like weird crimes that you're like, you gotta.
All propaganda to use the post office.
I did one episode as the mysterious man.
All right, nice.
Yeah, and they even said like the dudes who played the. I was wondering if I was going to get, because that was the season one. I was wondering if I was going to be able to edit myself, but someone else edited that one.
You
And,
were you gonna edit yourself?
I was wondering if they were going to ask me to edit it too. No, and then someone else edited it. And but yeah, they even said I did something or something like that, and then the lead dude just comes. That dude's mysterious. It's like,
What was your secret on that one?
on that one?
Yeah.
Well,
Anthrax in the letter.
actually, that one was.
I'm sure
just,
that was probably another one already.
No, that one was one where that one was just good time. I was just at the right place, right time kind of situation because Les Frank was a producer on it, and he's a buddy of mine from Wilmington. And they had an actor that was supposed to play the mysterious man stuck in an airport in New Orleans and wasn't going to make it. So he called me up and he goes, "Man, we need somebody." And so that's how I got that.
Oh, dude, sweet. That's
cool.
Yeah,
Always be available.
exactly.
That's the secret.
But I was there. So
Don't transition in New Orleans.
sometimes
Flights.
you're just lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does happen sometimes.
I like it.
Nice. Any other plans for future producing and directing, anything like that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I haven't directed before.
Okay.
I want to, but I think, I don't know. I guess you got to feel ready. Which one of y'all said that directed this one?
Johnny.
Johnny directed a couple of them.
The ones we are in post now too.
Yeah.
It's fun. I like it.
Yeah. What do you like most about it?
I don't know. It's just like
Ordering us around.
yeah, it's a sense of control, a sense of power, determining whether or not you get the role. I'm just kidding. No. I think I just like just putting it all together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And kind of just like seeing it come to fruition, I think is what I find satisfying.
Yeah.
For me, I think
I can do that as a producer.
yeah, you can, but I think there's something about like saying like, no, I want this shot and I want this camera angle and this is a really good moment. Like, let's try to do this and do that. As a producer, you're not doing that. So I think there's something kind of special about being there from like day one to the very end and now seeing it finished, as opposed to an actor, which is cool, but you're only there for like this small part of it and then you're gone and then you just see it when it's done or, you know, whatever happens to it. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'd love to. I guess you have to feel like you're ready to do it.
But you write.
Just come up with a shot list. You'll be good.
Just come up with a shot list. Do you have a good DP buddy?
Oh,
Yeah,
we did.
we
Actually,
have a great buddy,
for
yeah.
Papua and this guy, we've worked with this guy a bunch of times, but for Papua, so Johnny came up with a shot list. He went over it with us, and we were like, yeah, this is a good shot list. And then he brought it to the DP, Dan, and Dan's like, all right, so you say you have this much time to shoot this. We gotta cut half these shots.
Yeah, it's a wish list. It's a wish list.
Yeah.
Not really a shot list, more of a wish list.
That's the short film when I was in school that I did that I had to force myself to act in. Was a 20-page script with 6 different locations, and we had 1 10-hour day to do it. And they still let me. The teacher did say, "Do you realize that you know you're not going to be able to do all this?" And I was like, "No, I can get it. I can."
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't know any better.
Right.
And
I think there's a good optimism, right?
yeah, but that was
It's
some
way too
blind-ass
much
optimism there.
It's not gonna happen.
But that's how you learn.
Now we limit like our 10-hour day to just one location.
Yeah, in like a half a location.
Yeah.
if you can.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just gonna get a bunch of angles of the same thing, and that's it. We're
Yeah.
done. You know, because it's you can definitely, if you've never done it before, you definitely think like, oh no, we'll hit 5 locations in a day. It's like 2 hours here, 2 hours there.
insane.
Like that's not gonna happen.
No, not at all.
No. Yeah.
No, I was quickly on that one. Robert Rodriguez just came out with his what was the movie he did? El Mariachi, was that it?
Yeah. He did all the Desperados and all that stuff.
And then his book, he said that or I don't know if the book was out then, but there was an article about it, how he used a Bolex, and then when it went out of sync, then he would just, because like back then the Nagra, when you had to have a camera that had a crystal sync.
I don't even know half of these words you're saying right now.
But most of the film I shot with I was my own sound guy and camera operator, so I'd have to wind up the Bolex and then push record and then hold the boom up, and then I was like this.
Oh wow,
Nice.
Crazy.
But yeah,
But
Times have changed.
are you doing are you
Now.
producing stuff?
trying to get that one out.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have something now that you're producing or writing or?
Nothing now, but there is my good friend Sean Llewellyn, who's a director and a DP. He has a script horror movie called The Diary that we're trying to get done, and
Nice.
my wife has several scripts that she's written, and she's really cool, man. Like
Features?
Yes, features, all features, and so we're looking through what we think would be the best way to navigate,
Making a feature.
making a feature. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think making it. It's funny. It'd be fun to make a TV. It's easy to fall in to think like, I want to make a new series. I want to, because it's so fun to think of ideas.
Yeah.
But I think probably the best bet would be for someone
Make a movie.
Make a movie.
Yeah. I love movies. I'd rather make movies than a
Yeah.
TV show. But I mean, so for us, I would say that one of the biggest challenges is getting funding.
Yep.
That's always like how do I get the money to make the movie? You know what I mean?
Especially
so how do
a
you
feature.
think how are you guys going to go about trying to do that?
Well, I bet you're going to hope for that season 2 money, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's the
Renegotiate the
truth.
contract,
There is some truth to that, for sure. I mean, I think it all depends on. We try to keep talking to different folks because, at the end of the day, if I knew the answer to that, I probably would have made a feature by now, but I haven't because I don't know the answer to that quite.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest skill. I think it'd be great if could find like some sort of like Wall Street friend or something like that,
Some hedge fund guy.
or like somebody you went to school with back in the day going, what are you doing these days? I'm doing financing up in New York. Like,
Wall
really?
Street. Oh, yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
How will you know if season 2 gets picked up?
We just wait. We're just waiting.
Well, it just came out in
ba-
December,
Is
right?
it based?
So
It's just like, do you get to, or not you, but like, I don't know. Do they tell you the numbers? Probably not.
No, they do. I don't
We
even
just all
think,
got to tweet about it.
I don't even think producers get numbers from Hulu and Netflix and streaming.
Right.
places.
I heard Netflix doesn't even give their numbers.
Yeah, I don't.
Probably Hulu too.
I'm assuming probably the same method of not giving information, probably. But so I don't know. I don't know numbers wise, like if the algorithms are right or not. But I do know people dig it. The people that watch it. Like people on Instagram and
all over it.
Reddit.
Yeah.
And
This guy loves Reddit.
Yeah, I do. I got nothing to say. I do love it.
Hey, I have a question. You were telling us off mic before the podcast began that you said, I don't think a woman can be president. Could you elaborate?
I did not say that.
This guy's pulling an Elizabeth Warren.
Just kidding. It was perfect, too. He was lining up the drink. It was almost a spit take.
That's what he was hoping for.
Anyways.
I'd love it if a woman was president.
Yeah.
Me too.
I think we'd be better off for it. Maybe just keep it that way for, a lifetime.
I don't even see gender. I see issues.
See?
Anyways.
Any other?
Dude, well, we only have a few more minutes. What else we gotta?
Plugs.
No, dude, we gotta think of a great final question or something.
Well, let's sit
It's
here
got to
and
be phenomenally fantastic.
Or is there something that you're dying to
Yeah, what happened
talk
we
about?
asked you about? You
Oh,
probably
you
had
throwing it on me? I got to.
Hey, you know what? We've been throwing all these questions at you. Have any questions for us? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
What do you all do after this?
We're
gonna
actually
film-
going to look at the first cut of our short film and come up with a bunch of notes for our editor.
Yeah. Now, will you guys all powwow together as a trio for the notes? What kind of
Probably.
arguments do you guys get into, and do you healthily combat each other on it?
we all have the same.
We don't really argue too
Well,
much.
we did.
actually.
I mean, I did have.
You wanted to cut the chapstick out of Papua, and it's 2 against 1.
It's
If two
not-
people feel strongly.
It's not.
about
Yeah,
it.
it's not arguments. It's just like I don't know.
It's a good
Just a
collaborative
discussion.
process.
I think when I say I think of my buddy Sean and I, like we don't get in arguments either, but like we will just get in these strange debates, like I think he should cut the finger off and leave it in the refrigerator.
Right.
Like, not the refrigerator. You
Yeah.
leave it in the refrigerator.
It's got to be the microwave.
Right. It's basically, is this good enough to keep in? Because other than that, we need to push this story. We need to move this story along.
Yeah, it's strange how like sometimes now have you found this with your new short? Like you had to cut something that you really love, but it just doesn't work in there.
We're not that far yet.
Not
the
with
new
this one,
short.
but with the
Yeah.
other one, yeah, I think that does happen sometimes. Like where we're like, this is not going to
Does
really
suck.
work. It doesn't add to the story, even
But
though
it's-
you like it.
It's better in the long run.
right.
Yeah.
It is hard.
Because
It
the
is hard.
worst thing about like watching a short is if it's too long.
Yeah, what's too long for a short in your opinion?
Oh my god!
I think it's gotta be
There
a
can be a hellish 5-minute short, but like they even classify 30-minute things as shorts. Like that's way
Under
too long.
45 is the technical.
Dude, if a short's
Yeah.
longer than 15 minutes,
It's a medium.
I think it depends.
It's a medium.
nice, dude.
It's a medium film. It's a medium. Film. There should be a category for
There
that.
should be a
actually.
category for that.
That's a good idea.
Do they all have to
actually.
be ethereal and like metaphysical?
That's
Doesn't
a good
hurt.
question. The tough ones are when they're like, pushing 35 minutes or something. You're like, okay, just make a feature then. If you're
Yeah.
going to make it this long. You know what I mean? Unless it's
Yeah.
like a TV series. But I don't know. I think a good short should be under 10 minutes at the longest.
Yeah,
You know?
my wife was a director of a film festival in Wilmington, and for a season, I don't know, for a festival, for one event, and it was interesting to hear, all the different complications of scheduling with because you had some shorts that were great,
Like programming.
yeah,
Right.
yes, that's the fancy
Programming.
word I was thinking of. Trying to think of,
Right,
and
because if it's a longer short, they've got to justify maybe cutting out 2 decent shorter shorts, right?
yeah, and it's hard because a lot of times some of there's some great like 30-40 minute short mediums out there,
Right.
And you're like, oh man, this is all, and I saw some of it, but then trying to figure out how to fit them
Yeah,
in,
they take up
it's
the whole
tough.
block.
So it becomes so I guess you do have to think, you're going to go on a festival run. I mean, where else? I guess, but there's a Quibbit. Is it Quibi? What the hell is it called? There's a new.
Quibi?
There's a new. It's just for phones. Quibbix or Quibbit.
Sounds
Are you having a
familiar.
stroke?
Oh shit, man! No, it's they're I think it may be coming out this year. It's going to be short form series like made for just the phone. Like, and sometimes
Like an app.
yeah, like an
Okay.
app, and you can only watch it on your phone. And they're going to be doing it, like how you like if you shoot it vertically. Sometimes there's going to be some stuff where like it's going to be, and I think it's going to be like 6 to 10-minute
Shorts.
Oh.
Or like a subscription service, sort of.
series.
Oh, really?
Series.
Oh, okay.
I'll be contacting my agent.
Well, it's Man, I don't know. It's Quibbits.
Whatever word you're searching for, I feel I've heard it before.
Yeah.
Quip the toothbrush?
Quibbits.
It's like QUIBIB or something like that.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Our audience can let us know in the comment section.
Somebody will tell us.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Let us know. Hey, if our audience wants to find you, Shane, where can they find you?
Give
on
them a
social?
call to action. Give them the plugs. Tell them
Yeah.
about everything.
Tell them about the everything.
And the
And then narrows it down.
and your Instagram and Twitter and stuff.
And
All
Venmo
right.
and yeah.
The
Whatever.
Zelle, it's fine.
Zelle. I've just learned how to do that stuff too. Let's see. Instagram is _Shane_Callahan_.
Nice.
Not a underscore.
Was Shane Callahan taken?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't follow that guy.
Damn it.
You would hope, right? that wasn't like, but it looks cool because it looks like it's on a plane.
Oh, okay.
It's got little wings,
All right.
little body in there in the middle.
There it is. Floating in the sky.
Yeah, like a
like it.
UFO.
I'm
like
liking it more and more.
Oh, no, not like a UFO. I guess it would be.
Like a mystery man.
Exactly.
Hey.
I don't know what my Twitter is. Shane Callahan, maybe.
I'll find you.
And you can watch Reprisal, all 10 episodes on Hulu right now.
Nice.
I mean, Hulu offers that month subscription for free, so you could probably get through 10 in a month.
No excuses.
How long are the episodes?
Anywhere from 45 to 55. You know, like your
Regular.
classic kind of timing.
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean I know a lot of people that binged out on it.
Yeah.
So
It looks cool. I'm
gonna
definitely gonna watch it.
Me too.
yeah, it's rad. Please do.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you for coming by.
Thank you,
Really
Shane.
appreciate it.
Come back. Come back. Promote season 2.
Best guest yet?
Aaron's calling it. And the next time you produce something, hey, we're right here, ready to work with you.
Why don't the next time you all produce something, I'm right here ready
You know
to
what?
work with you.
I'd love to work with you on something.
That'd be fun,
It'd be
wouldn't
awesome. Yeah, it'd be totally cool.
it? That's what it's all about right there, man.
So we'll have you play another hillbilly. Is that cool?
Hillbilly.
All right.
As long as I can change with like a different rural.
Turns out he's an FBI
Dialect.
agent that goes undercover as a hillbilly.
Dude, you play leading man well too, man. Well wishers.
I like that.
Well wishers.
well wish. What
I
is
thought it was well wishes.
Well wishes.
Well
There it
wishes.
is.
Whatever.
And I appreciate her is.
I've only seen the trailer.
Cool. Thanks, Shane.
See you later, everybody.